Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Tricked Steel by M.J. Fields, narrated by Elizabeth Hart and Troy Duran. Prologue. I am not free while any woman is unfree, even when her shackles are very different from my own. Audre Lorde. Savvy. Sitting in the principal's office located inside the high school wing of Seashore Academy, I already feel like I'm trapped within the stronghold of societal norms. Within only moments, I will be sucked into the system known and accepted by those programmed by a patriarchal society and mainstream media to believe is the only way to become a valued member of the human race. The walls are figuratively closing in on me as my mother's partner, Liberty Smith, demands that they waive the rules of admissions by giving me every standardized test in his arsenal that would deem me worthy of this place. Tests that she and my mother have slammed as blatant misrepresentations of intelligence, created by mediocre minds, not geniuses or intellects. I've been taught my entire life that schools like this were created to aid in not only the dumbing down of society, but to crush our individual ability to find our true passion, our purpose. Institutions that feed young minds only the things in which the man wants us to learn, as they spoon-feed information to spit out when it's requested of those taking it in on demand. I was taught that institutionalized learning was the roundup in the garden of growth, the poisoning of free thinkers by the upper 5% through a robotic style of teaching and learning experiences. In what should have been my freshman year, we had lived in the same place for enough time that I became curious about institutionalized learning. So curious that I told my mom and Liberty that I wanted to experience it firsthand. Free minds don't have to be taught to learn. You're learning in spite of a classroom, not because of one, my mother had said, as if those words were magic, or a secret that only a girl as unique as me, one without rules, one forever free, could understand. At the time, those magic words, that secret that was supposed to make me feel like something special, did the opposite. I didn't feel nearly as free as I looked out the window, as the girls and boys walking by our rented trailer to and from the bus stop appeared. It felt a lot like bullshit. Also, bullshit was that Mom and Liberty stopped wanting to travel. Then they stopped wanting to go for hikes. Then they stopped wanting to check out the community garden that I had started in our little mobile home park, a garden we had planted for us and our new friends. Then the garden died and, Savvy, could you give us a minute? Liberty's voice pulls me back to the here and now, and I look up from the gold-framed nameplate. That won't be necessary, Miss Smith, Whitaker, the principal, says, still standing, because he hasn't sat down once since Liberty bullied her way into his office. Savvy, she says sternly, a once foreign tone that I'm now getting used to. I stand and walk out of the office, not saying a word, and I don't stop beyond Whitaker's heavy office door, needing to get the hell out of this place. I continue pushing past doors until I'm out of the office, then down the empty halls never traveled until today. I find the exit as if being led to it. Heart beating faster, a thin sheen of perspiration dampening my palms. I use them to push open the intimidating front double doors, inhaling the fresh air as deeply as I can. The autumn wind blows almost as if knowing I need more than the breath I desperately took. I continue down the stone stairs as another gust of wind blows leaves in an angry swirl of oranges and reds, fighting the inevitability that they will soon turn a brittle brown and then to dust. It's not long, definitely not long, when Liberty finds me out by the light blue and white 2013 last edition Volkswagen bus that Mom bought instead of rings for their commitment ceremony months ago, years after they became a couple. It seems like another lifetime passing. Again. Seashore Academy. Junior year. Chapter 1. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less. Marie Curie. Savvy. Staying on campus alone in my Seashore Academy dorm over Thanksgiving break is yet another one of my new realities, which I have made a conscious decision to call a tradition. A tradition that has been metaphorically pissed on by my roommates, Chloe, choice to stay here for break instead of going home like she has in the past. I get it. It's her reality as her situation has changed. Her mother is now working a second job, so she would only see her for a couple of hours after her 5-hour drive. That seems like the opportunity of a lifetime to me. But still, I get it. I understand that if she went to see her mom, she would be expected to see her dad, too, and the idea of hanging out with him, his new girlfriend, and her kids at their new love nest, as Chloe calls it, is not happening. I totally get that she's pissed. He leaves her mom with all the bills, including the house and a mortgage once paid for with 2 incomes. He's now living his best life, without responsibilities, while she's working 2 jobs to keep the house that Chloe and she are so attached to. I get it. It's not unusual. In fact, it seems like yet another confirmation that my mom was right, that societal norms are way out of whack. We are all basically bitches to the man. I get it fucking all, but I don't like it. Reality? The house that they feel anchors them is more like a shackle attached to the ball and chain, keeping them in a place neither of them truly have time to enjoy. How they can't even see that it's taking away their chance to begin again and is slowly killing their spirits. Case in point, Chloe has been in her bed since school let out yesterday. And what has she been doing? She's been glued to TikTok, Snapchat, IG, and YouTube. She's not alone. She and most of my peers get sucked into that hole and come out of a sway house or hype house with dilated pupils and a lady boner, believing that someday one of those guys will fall in insta-love with one of them, and they will be internet famous and live a carefree life on screens across the world. I mean, good on you if that's what you want. But is it? Is it really? Because 10 minutes later, you're on IG, hearting all the women empowerment posts about misogynistic men, then an ad pops up to help support a project to save the turtles by buying a reusable straw, and you're now off to show your support by buying a $20 straw to use in your $30 travel mug when you drink your $10 coffee. Fuck that. I don't want to be that girl. I fight it every chance I get. I'm sure someday they'll realize they don't either, but fuck if they don't believe it now, and then, squirrel, some other notification pops up and grabs their attention. Hands down, the worst app here, the Seashore Sound. It's run by the elite to throw their privilege in the faces of the lesser privileged, to talk about some party they're missing, and then the "Why, oh why don't they invite me?" moans echo through the walls, where many of its residents are here on scholarship. I've sworn off the Sound app. I just can't stomach knowing this is where I was dumped by people who wanted me to live free. But I found peace with that by way of freeing yoga, freeing meditation, or heading across the quad to find my non-pharmaceutical anxiety med, rolled in a 50-cent zigzag or smoked out of a reusable pipe. With my pharmacist having gone home for Thanksgiving and my roommate complaining nonstop, my zen might as well be on the moon. And if that isn't bad enough, I'm now stuck with all the girls who stayed back because what is basically a real-life reality show to them has moved to town. The Steele families. Yes, plural. Seem to be the talk of the school, so to speak. Apparently, they are not only extremely wealthy and evidently hot AF, but they are connected socially. Yes, I have eyes. They are appealing. But I also have the depth ingrained in me from my last lifetime where I spent countless hours digging in the dirt. And to me, that is true beauty. Not 6 foot plus of male testosterone. These fools have obviously been fed their steroids via silver spoons and have probably never known struggle. They'll fit in a lot better than I did when I first came here. So, yes, all eyes are glued to where #Steel Crew will be next. Apparently there are a few girls in the family, too. But it's the guys whose names fill the female dorms. And, seriously, let's be honest, it's Patrick Steele, or Trix, who leads the charge on the social media posts that have put all the girls around here in heat. I can't even count the times the squeals of nearly adult women sound off like a sinful choir when Trix does a duet, whatever the hell that is. I thought I was gaining headway with some of the more woke here. But why try to educate them on the man when they all would rather be on the man? They'll see when they're ready, I remind myself as I grab my work tee and pull it over my head. If I don't continually remind myself, I'll forget that these women are still growing and becoming. They are our future, and all our futures depend on them. When another screech nearly gives me a heart attack, it pisses me off that a week ago, I had 20 girls in the common area listening to me and agreeing with what we females needed to do to become stronger so that, together, we can ensure in years to come that we will still have the ability to make choices for ourselves. Whether we came from money or are here at the Ivy League of high schools, the ultimate privilege, or on scholarship, we seriously need to think more of ourselves than being future baby factories or repositories for seminal fluids. We need to use this privilege for the betterment of sisterhood. I thought I made headway until the Steeles moved to Mantaloking. What can my voice do against them? How can I still be heard against the coveted frat boy lifestyles that my peers all seem ravenous about? They are straight up in competition with each other for who gets them in bed first. A $10 pool, for fuck's sake. I wonder if they know how many reusable straws that pot of cash could buy. Fucking feminists, my ass. Grabbing my bag, my phone that I only use for emergencies, and my keys, I walk to the door to head to work. Chloe holds out her phone. Come on, Savvy. It's Trix and his hot daddy. You have to see them do Renegade. Hard pass on that. You enjoy, I tell her as I open the door. Bring me back a burrito? I force a smile. Of course. My plan for break was to work my shift tonight, bring back an entire bag of our infamous garbage burritos and a few of my own design, tortilla chips and guacamole, eat the shit out of them while binge reading all the books Liberty left in the VW when she ditched me while I was taking those stupid fucking tests, and fall asleep to some Joplin. Thanksgiving was supposed to be spent working my morning shift, consuming copious amounts of caffeine, and hiking all day to clear my mind. Then come back, shower, down a gallon of water, throw on the most comfortable old man flannel PJs and fuzzy socks that I could find, and fall asleep with my face in whatever book I had fallen asleep to, only to be woken up by a full bladder at least 2 times, then fall back to sleep, ignoring the fact that my stomach is screaming at me to put something in it. Thanksgiving was the first holiday I spent basically orphaned, and fasting is also part of my tradition/reality. Friday morning, I would go to work, eat a big breakfast at said work, then hit the thrift store's Black Friday deals to update my wardrobe. Then I'd spend the rest of the daylight hours at the lake, alone. The boys, dealers, friends would be back by Saturday night, and I would definitely be partaking in some herbal and holistic anti-anxiety therapy. Bottom line, this time of year, I need a break from the reality cast upon me a few years ago, and by cast upon me, I actually mean I was tossed from the literal road of freedom into one of the most toxic poisons of a patriarchal society, institutionalized learning and dorm life, which one alone would cause high amounts of stress, but mixed together, they create the perfect recipe for disaster. I've witnessed 3 years of it. Some lose their damn minds and get tossed on meds, labeled, but more often they're bullied to become the smorgasbord of societal norms, becoming its constant connoisseur and submitting to its unrelenting appeal. But for a girl like me, so grounded and knowledgeable about one's self, insert eye roll, it's just a little bit overstimulating. Thus, the need for some alone time. I'm handling it, while still attempting to keep a very important piece of who I am burning inside of me, as I continue to try to figure out how to forge and maintain real friendships in a place where most of the people actually think their way of living is civilized, and those outside the walls of their ivory towers are animalistic. I know many don't get it. They've never lived it. But their reality is no more realistic than the shit we're inundated with on television and social media to sway the masses. Yet without a break, it's overwhelming and still could easily spark anxiety inside of me, threatening to burn everything I've had to work for to ashes like a forest fire. So, self-maintenance and balance is a must. Unlike the whispered names they used to call me behind my back, I have adjusted. Yet I still need to find my center again on occasion. And there was no way in hell to do that among teenagers full of their angst and raging hormones, with not a care in the world behind the screen and what they see, and hiding with the flipped screen of the selfies they shamelessly filter and share, further feeding into the skewed sense that the real world is just like those stupid reality shows that so many manage their lives around, believing that's how life should look. I'm not 100% sure if I connect more with earlier women's rights activists, my heroes, Susan B. Anthony, Alice Paul, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucy Stone, Ida B. Wells, Frances E.W. Harper, and Mary Church Terrell, who paved the way for women in the feminist movement in the 70s, or women who started the feminist movement and continue to strengthen it. Regardless, by the time I walk out these doors, I'm sure I'll know. Why else would they leave me here? I look at the clock and sigh. 5 minutes until lights out. Thankfully, it's been dead all night, since Marcy only scheduled me to close, knowing that most of the world's at home cooking pies or traveling to be with family for the holidays. I have the espresso machine so clean it's shining, not because I'm overly ambitious, but because it's been dead most of the night. Only one of the 3 bean-to-cup machines is running with my very own special pumpkin spice recipe to fill up my thermos for Chloe in the morning, giving her at least a taste of the holiday that she's missing. It won't take me the normal half-hour of cleaning time after hours, and I'll be home earlier than expected. When a beep comes through my headset telling me someone is here, I groan to myself before saying, "Welcome to the Bean. What can I get for you tonight?" Snickers come through my headset, and I roll my eyes, bite my tongue, and wait for the bullshit to subside.
"This is our first time. Please be gentle."
A guy chuckles. You have got to be kidding me. I cringe to myself. I hate these kinds of idiots.
"Any suggestions?"
A smooth, low, raspy voice says, or sings, or tries to sound sexy, whatever. Gross. I don't say a thing.
"Tell me, is there a secret bean that will make me crave no other bean ever again?"
Yet another male voice asks.
"Bro, do not do that to her. If she tells you, she could get fired."
Smooth, low, raspy voice says, or sings, or tries to sound sexy again. Whatever. Again. Gross. And then all together they laugh hysterically, and a couple different voices say,
"For spilling the beans."
We close in 2 minutes, so either order or drive away with some dignity.
"Oh shit."
One laughs.
"Guessing that means no time for a sampling?"
Another now laughs. Fuck them, I think as I watch the clock tick to 9 p.m. and reach over, killing the lights.
"Oh, come on. It's a holiday. We're weary travelers who want to chow down on the bean. Be kind and ask yourself, what would Jesus do?"
One of them whispers as if I can't freaking hear them.
"It's Thanksgiving Eve, man. Jesus is next month, so it should be, what would the pilgrims do?"
I hear a laugh.
"Right. Too much smoke."
And now they're pulling at my one heartstring. They're high, which somehow makes stupidity a little more bearable. I let out a long, exaggerated sigh, then tell them, "You have 2 seconds to order, so save the one brain cell you share combined and the history lesson, and place your order or jet."
Whatever's easiest, babe. There are 3 of us.
Smooth, low raspy says, or sings, again, whatever. And again, gross. "Babe," I huff.
Dude, ma'am, miss, sir, or whatever pronoun floats your boat. 3 coffees, 3 burritos, whatever flavor is convenient. We're easy.
Chapter 2. Confidence is the sexiest thing a woman can wear. Author unknown. Patrick. You two trying to get my ass in trouble as I'm saving yours? I ask, attempting to put them in check, but right now they're a damn trip, and it's hard as hell not to laugh. Fucking brownies, Max chuckles from the back seat. Who'd have thought? I'm going to go with everyone else at the party under the damn pier, but the 2 of you, I shake my head. Still waiting on a total, I look at Amias and then back at Max. Look, I don't want to have to do this, but you've given me no choice but to remind you of the rules. You 2 don't take an open drink from anyone at a party because, dude, we're not chicks, Max laughs. Or, I pause long enough to make sure I have Cheech and Chong's attention. Buy a fucking brownie from a white guy with dreads. Clearly he's not the head of the PTA, and obviously it's not a fucking bake sale at St. Mary's. You want to hang with the big dogs without JT or me? You follow those rules. Or have Truth or Brisa. Amias laughs now. We expect good advice from you. That's bullshit, and you know it. Max chimes in. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about where you went tonight, and let's. I arch a brow at him. You interrupted my date. Getting a dick in isn't a date, Max laughs. Little shit's right, but still. Could have gone for round 2. At least given her another orgasm. I mean, shit, she's the only one of the masses sliding in my DMs that was straight up wanting to fuck. How do I know this? Her message. You're hot. I'm hot. Let's fuck. Nothing sexier than a woman with confidence. Well, nothing except the next message. Her. One time. Me. I like that rule. No sense in catching feels at 17. Her. High five emoji. I'd have left mid-thrust if any of you needed anything, but that's not the point. The point is, follow the rules. Don't lie to a chick to get sucked or fucked. Plenty out there who know what they want. Don't leave room for interpretation. We all know what happened to Noah Beckett, and we all know that's some major fuckery of the Me Too movement. And don't put a damn thing in your mouth unless you know where it came from and where it's been. From the speaker comes, "That's $19.58, and add extra for my therapist. I'm going to need extra sessions to be able to digest the bullshit I just heard from you all tonight." I smirk as the boys begin to laugh, and then I put the Jeep in drive. At the window, I watch as this chick, who I would have expected to be a fuck of a lot bigger than maybe $110 based on her voice and give no fuck attitude, fills a bag. She's in jeans that are too big, belted with black leather that wraps around her tiny waist. A t-shirt tied in a knot in the back, looking like a bunny tail. Her jet black hair is in pigtail braids, hanging about waist length and thick as hell beneath a backward ball cap. Her ass, like an onion, brings a tear to one's eye. Max leans up and thinks he's whispering as he says, "I got a 50 that, when she turns around, she's like 60 years old and has meth mouth." She whips around as Amias leans back and whispers to Max, "Nothing wrong with older women, especially ones who look like that from behind. At least they know what the hell they want." Her large, almond-shaped eyes are several shades of brown, maybe even yellows and a tinge of whiskey. They rival the beauty of the season that is now all but gone. Lashes, long and thick, naturally frame them. Truth be told, if they weren't the angriest set of eyes I'd ever seen look at me, I'd tell her how damn beautiful they are. Her brows full, and not because they're drawn on, penciled, or filled in, are 100% natural. and furrowed. Her face is more round than oval, but her cheekbones are very sharp and defined. Her lips are insanely full, and I bet if she smiled, which she's not one bit, they'd cover her perfect fucking face. Her lower lip is plumper than the top, but not by much, and she has a killer Cupid's bow. Perfection. So damn perfect. Yet she's frowning. When I attempt to smile, which isn't easy because my throat and mouth are now the Sahara Desert, and I'm not even one of the two who's fucked up like that, am I right? She narrows her eyes and sneers as she drops burritos wrapped in foil into the bag, showing that she has a slight gap between her front teeth. This girl is an anomaly in today's world. She's natural perfection. I can't stop my eyes from glancing down and, fuck, I hope these two jackasses don't catch the twisted humor in her shirt that has a cup and a burrito on it, with the words, "It's all about the bean," arched over it. But God help them if they notice her tits, because she's straight up perfect. Free as fuck, too. And if they mention that, I'm calling their fathers, my uncles, to come get them. Why? Who the fuck knows why? And who the fuck knows why I want to climb through the window and lick her? Probably because of all the comments on the videos and pics I've posted where chicks comment, "I licked it. It's mine." I want that to be mine. She carries the cups over and sets them down, scowl in place, and I get no eye contact whatsoever. I'm seriously worried that the minute she opens that window, I'm going to fucking lick her. She turns and walks the short distance to the counter behind her, grabs the bag, and then carries it back. Rolling her eyes again, she releases a breath, opens the window, and looks up. $19.58. Max leans forward as I dig in my pocket to grab cash and asks, "How much for the therapy?"
"Save it. You need it more than I do."
Amias cracks up, and so does Max. Tone completely flat and emotionless, she says,
"I'm not joking."
I grin as I peel off a bill and hand it to her.
"Thanks, babe. Don't even."
She snatches the money from my outstretched hand and slams the window shut so quickly that I'm just barely able to retract my damn hand. "Damn, sis," Max laughs. "She's..." "Back down, Max." "Oh, shit," Amias laughs. "Trix is into..." "No, bro, I just don't want our food spit in." I turn back and look toward the window as she's opening it. "No disrespect," I say, looking for a name tag as she thrusts her hand holding my change at me.
"I don't tamper with food, and stop looking at my tits."
Max and Amias again bust out laughing. "I was looking for a name tag," I explain.
"Yeah, well, take your change, your food, and your drinks. You don't get my name. Feel free to complain to management."
"I'm not going to complain," I say, trying once again to redeem myself. "And keep the change."
"You gave me $100. I don't..."
"Call it an inconvenience tax. You've more than earned..."
"Oh my God, just take your daddy's money and let me get the hell out of here."
"Better not let his mom hear that. She and his father are co-owners of..." "Max," I say at the same time she leans over and drops the change in my lap, saying,
"Great."
I scowl at them, trying to shut them up, when the bag of food is then dropped in my lap. As Max and Amias bust up laughing again, I swing back around as she shoves 2 of the 3 cups out the window. I grab them before she can drop them into my lap, too. Quickly placing one in the drink holder, I then grab the 3rd. "Have a great..." I stop as she slams the window shut. "The fuck?" Max chuckles. "Dude, think of how your mom would react if she heard all that shit that she just did," Amias scolds him. "She does, daily." Max laughs harder. "From her husband, not a stranger who she knows has mad respect for her." I sigh, handing him his coffee. I look back through the window and she's sputtering to herself. She's fucking pissed. I decide to cut my losses. I throw my Jeep in drive and decide right then and there that after Thanksgiving break, I'm going to be spending a shitload of time here. Because that girl, that insanely sexy, confident, give a shit less girl, doesn't even see me. But I'm going to make sure she does, and I'm going to make sure she likes what she sees. Stopping before I pull out onto the road, I reach for my phone to send a text to my parents and realize it's not there. "Fuck!" I snarl. "Bad coffee?" Amias laughs. Phone's not here. I think I left it. Bro, your hookup has your...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?